Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Builder Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. We're back today for the final episode of the season in part 85, and we face TNS on the final day of the Welsh Premier League season before Aberystwyth in the Welsh Cup final. Now, of course, TNS will be weakened today. They're missing Gwyn Morgan and Stefan Banks, both on loan from us, ineligible. They've got a couple of other injuries too. We're missing Callum Maguire, who's been out with a knock as well. However, albeit we've all but wrapped the title up, we're going into the final day of the season, and mathematically, TNS haven't lost it yet. There are 3 points between us with one game to go. Now, the goal difference, we're nearly 40 ahead, so the title is won, let's be honest. But mathematically, TNS have taken it to the final day, and that shows you just how strong they've been this year. So if you're looking forward to the episode, please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily content from 2 long-term stories. We had our big new season transfer special in the head coach yesterday, and you can catch up with that one in the eye above. But a massive thank you for your continued support. It is greatly appreciated. But of course, we've had a very big season, and we've got 2 more games to wrap things up. Firstly though, excellent news. Greg Pringle has extended his loan for another season, second time lucky by the looks of it. The only difference this time, we had to pay an extra £1 a week of his wages, so £2.5 a week we'll pay for him. But what a player he's becoming, and to have him for another season is absolutely incredible. 29 goals in 19 league starts, scoring 1 a game in Europe, scoring goals galore in the Welsh Cup, which he'll be looking to add to. It's been absolutely sublime. If we have a look at the schedule though, for what's been happening since you were last with me, not all plain sailing. We had a draw away from home against Airbus, a 2-1 that was. We were 2-0 up with Brooks and Dean's first half goals. The second half, Airbus wiped the floor with us. We were really lucky to get a draw. I don't know what happened. I don't know where it came from performance-wise. But these guys were very unfortunate to only get a point. And if they'd won it, it would have all been to play for today. As it is though, we bounced back against Barrytown United in the Welsh Cup semi-final, a Greg Pringle brace on his return from injury with Dean and Williams getting the others, before a 4-1 win against the same opposition in the league. Guess who got all 4 of the goals? A 3-1 win away at Aberystwyth. Unfortunately, Pringle injured for this one, so Brooks, Cottrell from the penalty spot and Andrew with 1 apiece. And our former youngster Owen McMinamy was the man who got the goal for Aberystwyth, as he so often does. But that means that we are 3 points clear in the league with 1 game to go. We are going to win it on goal difference even if we lose today. So let's go and see what happens. It's going to be a really interesting game. Barry have wrapped up 3rd, so unless Aberystwyth beat us in the cup final, it will be the same 3 sides definitely in Europe, which is good for Welsh football. And Aberystwyth have got another chance to get in as well if they win the European playoffs through the league or if they win the Welsh Cup final. Either way, it could be the same 4 sides in Europe. Having said that, Airbus could yet finish 4th, so let's wait and see what happens. For us though, we're going as strong as we possibly can. We've got a week and a day till the cup final, so everyone will get suitable rest. And this is the 11 we've gone for. Pringle's back in after injury, Williams back in for Malone. We've gone for experience over quality. And the rest of the team picks itself. So it's George Wickens in goal. Riley and Boyce the fullbacks with Badebo and Price at centre-half. Lloyd in a holding role with Williams, Brooks and Cottrell, the rest of the midfield diamond. Cottrell in for Maguire. Jones not quite fit and in form yet, so he's playing mainly off the bench at the moment. And then Duffy and Pringle up front. We've gone and give Duffy a kick up the backside. He's not scored in his last 6 matches. Max Dean's not been in great form and Andrew's not fit enough for the bench. So really, we're reliant on Greg Pringle again. Let's go and get into the first game today. It's probably the less important one, but we'd really like to warm up for the cup final well, and we'd like to win the Welsh Premier League by 6 points rather than 3 or on goal difference. I mean, it's logic, isn't it? We've got to try and keep the gap. We've got to try and show our superiority. So let's go and get into the match. Can we do it? Let's go and find out. It is, of course, a pretty rotated TNS side. The fact that they're missing our 2 loan players is a big difference to them. They've still got a very good side. The players they bought in January, Mandrew and Russ, both in the side, both doing really well. And some of the others are still stars, Noah Daly most notably. So if they can get 3 or 4 more in the summer, they should be able to compete in Europe. And I know if they do get to the group stages there, they'll drop off naturally in the league for a year. But then, if they can get that extra 2 million in the bank, the extra 3 million if they can get some results, it could change Welsh football forever. That's what we're looking for now. So let's go and see what happens. As with 2 minutes gone, we've got a throw on the right-hand side. Duffy cuts it back and Daly clears it long downfield. Wickens forced out to the right-back area to try and get the ball. We've just got to hope he doesn't get closed down here. He plays out to Keegan Riley. He finds Price. It's been okay, the January signing actually. We said we were a bit worried he was a waste of money, and while he's not worth £1 million, he's done a really solid job. Duffy's shot saved by the keeper, it's behind for a corner kick, but it's been a promising start from the visitors. We've done pretty well here. The corner's headed away, it wasn't the best delivery. Rutherford picks it up and can charge at the defence, and after my positive words, we might well go 1-0 down here. We will have a look at the end of the season to see if we've got any chance of getting better defenders back in, even if the likes of Weaver are available, who we've had before. But it doesn't matter for now because we've got Greg Pringle, and he is the man who single-handedly can win us matches. He got us through to the Europa League after Christmas by winning us a game at Shakhtar. He is absolutely stunning. He's won us the title with some of his performances. Without him, I think TNS compete with us every single year in every competition. But Greg Pringle, at the moment, is the big difference between the sides. Long may it continue. Well, a slightly dull 20 minutes there, as Rutherford's back on the right-hand side. His cross is too close to Wickens. But TNS have given it a decent go in terms of the stats. They've had a fair share of the game, but no clear-cut chances just yet, as we've got the ball out to Boys at left-back. Over the top to Pringle again, and this is the difference, isn't it? Greg Pringle on the counter makes it 2. Good assist for Morgan Boys, lovely ball through the channel. But Pringle is so much better than any footballer in this league. And the fact that we were doubting him early in the season, we should really be ashamed of ourselves, shouldn't we? The fact that we said he might not be the player we thought he was. And now he is, in the 40s in terms of goals. And he's single-handedly winning us matches, getting us through in competitions, and raising the Welsh coefficient in terms of Europe as well. 2-0 at half-time, TNS will lose the league by 6 points. But we've got to reflect on what's been a brilliant season for them. They've got to build on it in the summer. They've got to do their transfer work earlier than normal. They've got to be prepared for the European qualifiers. If they can get just a slightly friendly draw, fingers crossed they do, hopefully they can get close, if not to the playoff round, and then maybe even to the group stages. As Riley picks it up again, into midfield to Harvey Lloyd, back to Price. He's got time in the centre-half position, goes over the top towards Duffy. It's been a big goal drought for him, but it ends now. The kick up the backside work, the individual chat always does. The goal drought is ended. It's 37 for the season for Duffy. Not bad for a man playing second fiddle. And we're back with just over an hour gone. We can bring some of the youngsters on now, and we'll take off those who are struggling physically, because the cup final is now our priority. As Badebo switches to Boys at left back, up to Pringle. He runs off the left-hand side. He's got a final chance to complete his hat-trick. Instead crosses it. It's back to Lloyd. He'll be coming off in a minute, so he needs to do it now, or it's going to be never, I'm afraid. As Badebo picks it up to Williams. He comes forward in the centre of the pitch, to Badebo, to Brooks. It's nice football, but we're not really going anywhere. Just short, sharp triangles for now. Lloyd back into centre-half for a third time. Out to Morgan Boys. Through ball towards Pringle. There's the hat-trick chance. Is he going to be unselfish? He is. He crosses for Cottrell, who makes it 4. And TNS wilting on the big stage. Let's go and make the changes. Let's rest the ones we need for the cup final. Pringle will be replaced by Max Dean. He's going to be the first one to come off. Brooks, the star in midfield, will be replaced by Paddy Malone. He'll get 25 minutes as well. And then Keegan Riley at right back. The best defender is knackered. So on comes Peter Holding to get some match experience. I'm tempted to go for Jones instead of Malone in the middle. And in fact, I think we will, dropping Cottrell back in. Let's prioritise our youth academy prospects. Malone will probably be first choice next season anyway. So 25 minutes without isn't going to hurt him. TNS 0 though, Bangor City 4. It's been a wonderful display and the perfect warm-up for the cup final. And we're back with Morgan Boys at left back again. The confidence is seeming to flow. I know we beat Barry 4-0, but we didn't play incredibly well. This is the first performance of that level we've had for a long time, as Wickens gets the ball back to Price. He goes wide to Holding, the sub. Through ball towards Max Dean. Duffy's up with him. He's got 2 or 3 arriving in the box. Cuts it back. On the edge of the box, Daly's there to head away. Daniel Williams should get there first. He finds Harvey Lloyd. Back to Williams again. Through ball towards Jones, the youngster. He's in for 5 and he makes it 5. Tom Jones has not been great since coming back for injury, but that is a massive goal for him, even if not for the club. A wonderful, dominant display from Bangor City. And although TNS have competed just as well as us against all the other sides in the league, they're dominant. What they have to do is find a way to compete against us. They had a brief spell a couple of years ago where they sat with 5 at the back, where they managed to find a shape. But since then, it's been all poor for them, as Wickens has to tip over a brilliant inventive strike from Russ. Just tried to lob him from about 30 yards there, but the keeper was wise to it. It's going to be a Clifford corner. I think he won player for the year in the league as well. which is a massive difference for it to not be a Bangor City player. McClellan picks it up on the right. TNS just trying to get a goal now. Manton the subs there, 30 yards out. 2 over on the left, instead gives it away, and Tom Jones is snapping at the heels. Brilliant play from Bangor City, and we're on the way forward again. Max Dean gives it away with a header. Williams goes back to his keeper, Lufra. Can TNS get the goal? It's out to Rutherford at right back. They are getting the odd chance in behind, in fairness. Mandrew finds Russ. The 2 January signings combine, and it's out to Noah Daly, our former Cliftonville hero in FM20. Out to Rutherford at right back. Back to Mandrew again. Is the goal coming? It's into McClellan. There's the strike. And TNS do get their goal. 5-1. The hosts finally score. But what a performance it's been. We certainly can't complain about any of this match. As Lloyd's got a free kick on the right again. Chance to cross. Lufra punches. Jones knocks it down for Price. 1-2. Falls for Jones on the edge. He's slashed down for a penalty. And Ben Cottrell's going to take it. He scored all the recent ones he's taken. And this is his chance to keep it 100% from 4. Ben Cottrell up left-footed to make it 6-1. It would be our biggest win in some time. Cottrell up. He scores the goal. Bangor City saving their best till last. The final game of the season and the best display by a mile. TNS have pushed us all the way, but this has been one game too far. You can see it. They're fading away. They're really struggling. And now they're just trying to get a second goal as Rutherford goes to Mandrew on the right-hand side. Crosses early towards Russ. Good header. And Wickens does well to hold it. We're going to play out from the back here. We've got the option at right back. Instead throws into midfield for Cottrell. Up to Joe Duffy and back to Lloyd. Can we make it 7? I mean, it's getting embarrassing, isn't it? In behind to Dean. Did he break the offside trap? It doesn't matter. It was miles over the bar. A striker lacking confidence showing there. But a 6-1, a fine display. And on to the cup final in style. TNS have been battered on the final day of the season. But let's not forget, it's been a brilliant season for them. But on the final day, we officially wrap up the Welsh Premier League title. We come to lift the trophy after a hard, long title race. TNS push us all the way. Some of the other sides have really pushed us this season. And next year, if it keeps falling in this pattern, it could well be a very difficult one for us to win. Having said that, we do win the Welsh Premier League for the 5th or 6th straight season. And Bangor City continue the dominance of Welsh football. A wonderful display. We'll say well done to the lads. But now we've got to make it a treble. Let's go and wrap up the Welsh Cup final. We've got Aberystwyth to come in a minute. We're back for the Welsh Cup final, and some good news to an extent. Callum Maguire probably not fit enough to be involved, but Greg Pringle is, Ben Cottrell is after a small knock in the week. So we're almost as strong as we can be. And I think, given the performance against TNS, it would be pretty cruel if we didn't pick the same 11. So as much as I'm tempted to maybe bring in a Malone, or maybe bring in, say, Maguire or a Tom Jones as the number 10, I think we have to stick with what we've got. We do only get 5 subs in the cup though, so we're going to have to take out one of the defenders, and that will probably be Holding. And then we have to take out one of the midfielders, which is probably Malone in truth. He's going to be first choice next year, and he's not even getting a chance at the minute. So those 2 drop out. We've gone for experience. So Dean, Jones, Woods, Cannell, Hankin. That's a brilliant bench. They've all been first choice in the last couple of seasons. But today, it's the same 11 as beat TNS or demolished TNS to win the Welsh Premier League. And now, spearheaded by Greg Pringle up front, can it do the same against Aberystwyth in the Welsh Cup final? Let's go and find out. Fingers crossed it will be a treble. And of course, equally, the man to watch for our opponents is McMinamy, the striker. They've also got Gwyn Tudor in the middle though. He's another one of our former players. Played a few league games for us, and for TNS ironically. But he's now doing well in the Welsh Premier League. And this is what it's about. Can we get our Welsh youngsters playing in the other teams in the league to strengthen them? It's a 4-5-1, they're playing quite defensively, and they've caused us trouble on the counter before, but hopefully today that won't be the case, as in the second minute, we're back with Aberystwyth on the attack. Roberts on the right-hand side, through ball to McMinamy, he's in one-on-one. Where did George Wickens go there? Almost got caught out, he flew off his line, and the angles were all wrong. But he did just about get back to make the save. It's a corner kick. McMinamy takes it himself. In towards Hill, but Dabo wins it. And now Cottrell can counter. Up to Pringle. They've left him 2-on-1. And Pringle's in. He's gone all the way himself and slides it under the keeper. You could argue Richards might have saved that. But from an Aberystwyth chance, from a clear-cut chance, and then from a corner kick, we have taken a lead. 2 defenders left back with Greg Pringle, but it isn't enough. 1-0 to Bangor City. Hopefully dominance to follow. And we're back on the right-hand side with a throw again. It's been our only shot of the first 11 minutes, but it's the only one we've needed, as Price picks it up in a fairly advanced position, the centre-half. Into Harvey Lloyd. all the way back to the keeper, 60 yards to Wickens. He chips it out to the left. Boys flicks it on for Brooks. Pringle's running off him. He's beaten the offside trap. He's beaten the keeper. He's almost like a cheat at this level. We've got him for another season. And if we don't win domestic trophies with him in the side and him settled in, then I don't know how we're going to do it. Because what a player he is. He has single-handedly won us the league, got us through in the Champions League to the Europa League group knockout stages, and now he's single-handedly winning us the Welsh Cup final as he picks it up again on the left, back to Morgan Boys. He finds Badebo, inside to Harvey Lloyd. There's plenty of options with him. Out to Boys, through to Pringle again. He can't, can he? It's a 21-minute hat-trick for Greg Pringle. Just take a bow. What a footballer. What a player we've managed to get in. And next season, if we can sort out the defence and get 2 or 3 better players in this squad, Greg Pringle can take us to superstardom. I have no doubts about that. What we could really do is with another one alongside him, and then Dean and Duffy as our backup too. Badebo heads away across. Brooks gets there first, the other star. Through to Pringle again. This is ridiculous. 4 chances, 4 goals. Greg Pringle, I am running out of words to describe you. It was 5 episodes ago. I had to give him an apology after his stunning performance away at Shakhtar. That was the day he arrived after a tricky start at the club. And today is the day he becomes a legend. 3 trophies, and we owe him for 2 of them, quite frankly. As Boys heads the ball away, it finds Pearson on the right-hand side. Roberts picks it up there. He's holding it up, and to be fair, they haven't been that bad. They're in here. It's a good block by Price, and it's back to Hillier. They haven't been that bad, but every time we've counter-attacked, Greg Pringle has scored. And here he is again, laying off to Cottrell. Through to Duffy. Look who's in the middle unmarked. Duffy goes alone. It's going to be a red card. He's been brought down by Stewart. This could get really ugly. This could be the most one-sided cup final we've ever been involved in. Because I tell you what, at 4-0 after 33 minutes, not deserved, but 4 stunning counter-attacks. They're down to 10 men. It's a 4-4-1. And Aberystwyth are really got to cling on here. McMinamy puts a corner in for them. Wickens comes and claims it. And they've not learnt. Pringle is on halfway with 2 Aberystwyth defenders. And if anyone plays a long ball towards him, he will score. Morgan Boys is at left back. He finds Lloyd. Into Brooks. Who's going to do it? Lloyd thinks about it. Turns right and goes to Riley. Duffy's up there with him now. Williams over the top. There's Greg Pringle. And there's the goal. It's offside. It's been disallowed. But that's the proof in the pudding. Every time that ball goes over the top, if it falls anywhere near Greg Pringle, he will score. Doesn't matter how many defenders are near him. Doesn't matter how many men they've left back. And they're not learning from it. As Duffy gets it on the right from Riley. Serrell clears long downfield. McMinamy's in here. We've been caught out. Price out of shape. It's McMinamy in. It's a good save from George Wickens to tip it wide. But it just feels like a bit of a non-event now, doesn't it? Loads of Aberystwyth fans in the ground. McMinamy's corner kicks into the back stick. It's headed away by Brooks. But you've got to say, what a performance. It's a one-man team. If Pringle wasn't in this starting lineup, would it be 0-0? It possibly would. As we've got a free kick with Harvey Lloyd, 30 yards out. Fairly central. Lovely curling effort. Richards holds it well. Good goalkeeping by the Aberystwyth number 1. But it's too little too late. It's a brilliant display from Greg Pringle. And it's a comfortable win as a result. As Boys heads it away on the left, only as far as Waters. Through ball towards Tudor, our former player. Badebo gets there first, gives it away into McMinamy. And it's 4-1. Our former player sets up our former youth player. And it's 4-1 on the stroke of half time. But unfortunately, Greg Pringle has already wrapped up the game for us. So they're not going to have a say in this second half. If we go through to the half-time team talk, we're going to tell the lads to keep it going. And really, if they don't leave 3 back with Greg Pringle, it's going to be 5, 6 or 7. As Williams has got a free kick on the right. In towards Duffy. Hopkins heads away. Tudor's there. To be fair, they look a threat themselves on the counter. Tudor's covered 40, 50 yards here, really taken them away from danger, but Cottrell follows him all the way and wins it back. Riley finds Lloyd, into Brooks in centre midfield. 2 over on the wings, Cottrell goes long, Pringle's got himself in, and it is, the same story again. Probably for the second time today, Richard should have saved it, but Greg Pringle makes it 5. We have never seen a 5-star display from a single striker, and Greg Pringle is making history today. The Welsh Cup final is all about Greg Pringle. It's 5 goals, it's 5-1, it's a one-man show. As Badebo picks it up in central defensive areas. It's dragged wide here, gives it away almost. Tudor does get there. He intercepts it for McMinamy, who's in one-on-one. It's a really poor goal to concede. McMinamy gets his second of the game. And you've got to be fair to him. He's had 3 chances and scored 2 of them. He's been prolific, and on any other day it would be enough. Cottrell's picked up an injury, young Tom Jones will come on for him. But I think we have got to be concerned about the defence here, because it's not looked good. We've really got to work on improving that next year. As Tudor gets the ball back again, long ball forward which Badebo heads clear. Tudor picks it up in midfield. It's an excellent game for them. Long ball forward flicked on by McMinamy. Badebo back into Boyes the left back. He's got a chance to play forward, instead goes back in. It's a safe option, just getting their foot on the ball. Into Brooks in midfield who can turn. He finds Daniel Williams. He switches right to the overlapping Riley. There's 3 up with him. Of course, Pringle's on a double hat-trick now. Riley goes alone though, shoots straight at the keeper. It's a bit greedy and it's not the best effort. An hour gone, 5-2. We'll think about subs in a moment. But firstly, we're back with a free kick on the right. Daniel Williams will take it to the back post to Price. Hits the bar, off Brooks and in. I don't think he even knew anything about it. 6-2. It's just nice for someone other than Pringle to score. But the 2-star men running away with it. And we'll go and make the last 2 changes. Jack Hankin, our own youth academy star. He can get a run out. We'll take Price or Badebo off because they've struggled defensively. And what we'll do is we'll put Hankin at right back, Riley centre half, Price comes off. And then I feel a bit for Cannell and Woods because they've not played for ages. But I'm going to go Duffy off, Dean on, and 25 minutes to go. Can we get more goals? Can Pringle get the double hat-trick? Or will we have to settle for 6? Well, we've got to the last 5 minutes. There's not been much incident in the last 20 as Davis picks it up on the left-hand side. Cross into Roberts here. Aberystwyth nearly get a third. It's a great tackle from Boyes. And it's out to Waters. Crosses in. It's just overhit for Connor. And Lloyd's there defensively to boot away. They've had a real good threat in this game. I've got to say, if they can get into Europe and improve a little bit again, they will do well because on the counter they're a very good side. As Waters at right back goes for the long ball forward. Connor flicks it down for Wallace. Out to Roberts on the right. Definitely some good showings in this team for Aberystwyth. And now they've got the European playoffs via the league. If they can wrap them up, they're in Europe again. As Williams goes back to Hankin. The right back plays long. Dean will chase it, but the keeper might get there first. Oh, he's got caught in treacle. He does get there eventually. Dean was chasing, didn't quite get there enough. Didn't anticipate quickly. So the long ball's forward. It's flicked on by Connor, but Davo gets there. Falls for Davis on the left, who beats Hankin. They could get a third here, you know. They've really looked good going forward. Davis crosses, but it's too close to Wickens who holds it. It's been a wonderful game of entertainment. OK, Pringle's made it a bit one-sided. And he's in again here. He's got a wonderful chance. Brings it down beautifully. Double hat-trick from the goalkeeper's assist. You don't see many of those now this league's improved. It is 7-2 and Greg Pringle has scored 6 of them. A ridiculous individual display. The finest appearance, the finest showing on the biggest stage. We've said for years we've not got the big game players. And that's why we've lost out in some of the cups. But we've got one now. We've got a star striker who is going to be a world-class footballer. Whether we can keep hold of him beyond next year, I'm not quite sure. But we've got him for another season. And my word, we've got to make the most of it. A mauling in the Welsh Cup final. A wonderful display from Bangor City. But we need to improve this defence. Because if we do, next season, we could compete against the best for the first time in this series. An injury for Ben Cottrell. It's another fairly serious one. We have to think about letting him go now. But a brilliant season, there is only one man to go and praise. Of course, he's finishing with brilliant with 6 goals, but look at his attributes. For an advanced forward, he's just about perfect. If we go to the competitions, it was disappointment in the League Cup. TNS got the victory in that one. It was disappointment in the Champions League, albeit a brilliant win at Shakhtar got us through to the Europa League. And then we lost against Norwich City in the last 16. But we did get through another round, and it will help the coefficient slightly. We do win the Welsh Premier League as we wrapped up today, a mauling against TNS on the final day, but it pushed us all the way, and mathematically, they got to the final day of the season and deserve credit. We did win the SPFL Trust Trophy, and as you saw today, the Welsh Cup final too. So a brilliant season, a treble for the club. If you did enjoy it, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you think we can achieve next season if we keep Greg Pringle at the club. And do you think TNS can finally compete in Europe when they go through the Europa Conference qualifiers? Fingers crossed they can. If you want to find out how we get on next year and whether we'll have any more record signings in the summer transfer special, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as daily content releases from 2 long-term stories. But a big thanks for watching, for following along for another season. I really do greatly appreciate it. And I hope to see you next time. Transfer specials, Champions League action. It's going to be a big one. I'll see you there.